Hey, 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 what's happening, my joyful people? It's Kimberly Joy Morgan of Do All Things with Joy, where health and wellness meets passion and purpose. I am so excited to be here with you yet another Friday. Yay. Hope you are doing really, really well. So I'm coming to you today to talk about MCT oil, okay? So some people may have heard of it and are like, oh yeah, Kim, I know all about that. It's wonderful. And others may be like, what, huh? What are you talking about? But I want to make sure that you are completely aware of the benefits of this amazing oil. So we're going to do a 2-part series today. Welcome to those who are joining in. We're going to do a 2-part series today. I'm going to tell you all 7 benefits that we have. What's up, cousin? So good to see you. And so we're going to do that, but I'm only going to talk about 3 or 4 in detail. And then next week I'll finish it out because there's just so much rich information and understanding why and how and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm not going to go into the who, what, and why on all 7 because we'd be here all day. All right. But first I do want to give you the list. So MCT oil, which is, a form of coconut oil that you can have. It is very thin, and the one that I use, I'll show you right here, is this organic brand. It's Garden of Life. So I love, this one's formulated for brain health. I absolutely love it, and as it's dripped down. So I'll tell you how I use it as well today. So bam, that's the brand I use. I also use it in my salad dressings with this one here. So it's a keto blend. It has olive oil and MCT oil, CT oil together. Okay. So this one I drizzle on my salad with usually some kind of sea salt of some sort with other spices. Okay. So that's what you have there. Now I want to give you the benefits. I got to wipe the oil off my hands because it's a little oily. All right. So here we go. It promotes weight loss. Yay! For those who want to. And for me, I'm kind of like where I want to be right now. But if you had asked me maybe 2 months ago, I'm 12 pounds down from where I wanted to be. I'm at my goal weight right now. So I'm in a happy place. So I will tell you, definitely it's great for weight loss. It's also a good source of energy. And who doesn't want to have energy, right? To keep up with our lives and our family and friends and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll talk a little bit more in detail of how it does that. It also reduces the lactic acid buildup in your muscles after working out. So for those people who are athletes or lift weights or ride bikes or things like that, this is an amazing oil to use. And I'll tell you how to use it as well. And it can help with your lactic acid, because lactic acid, for those who don't work out on a regular basis or work out really hard, is when you lift weights. Like I used to train for shows, like a bikini show. And so you would, lift really, really hard weight. And then the next day you would be so sore, it would be so hard to walk and all of that. Well, that's the lactic acid buildup. So basically when you are building muscle, you're breaking it down. Like when you lift the weight or you ride a bike really hard up a hill, you put little cuts in your muscle, like everything, just like little teeny tiny cuts. Now what happens is it has to heal over, but in that process you have lactic acid that kind of builds up in that muscle and it burns those little cuts. Okay? That was a quick and dirty. All right, so then the next thing, it also helps to manage epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and autism. That's huge. And we're going to talk about that next week because it's very detailed. So I want to make sure that you understand a little bit, but it helps you to manage those things: epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and autism. So for all of my mamas out there and dads who have kids who have autism, this might be something that's helpful and very easy to incorporate into things that you're doing. And then all my friends who have parents who are with dementia, this could be something that could be helpful as well. And for those of us who are getting older and don't want to go down that route, incorporating some of this oil into our lives is beneficial as well. So it also helps to fight yeast and bacterial infections, which is huge. And I can't wait to share with you the details on that one. It also may reduce risk factors for heart disease, and it also can help manage blood sugar for those who might be diabetic, pre-diabetic, in that state. So lots and lots of benefits. So let's talk a little bit about, I think 3 or 4 of them today, and then we'll do the other 3 or 4 next week. We'll see what we have as far as time is concerned. So let's start with promoting weight loss. So the way that it does it is it releases 2 hormones that make you feel full, and that's peptide YY and leptin. So peptide YY and leptin are released and it makes you feel fuller. So studies show that 2 tablespoons with breakfast would cause someone to not eat as much lunch. So it increases your feeling of fullness. It also lowers the rise of the triglycerides and glucose, which can also influence feelings of fullness in someone. So those are beneficials that are there. So MCTs can also be converted into ketones, which we usually burn glucose and for energy. But if you get into a place, what we call ketosis, or you hear these keto diets where you're not bringing in so many sugars, couldn't think of the word, you start to go into where you're not burning sugar for fuel, you're burning fat for fuel, and those are ketones, which are produced from the breakdown of fat when carbohydrates are low in the diet. So that's what I'm saying, when you take that out. So, and it also increases great gut environment. So the microbiome, I talk about that. That's my specialty, remember? So it can promote a great environment for good bacteria to grow and thrive. And your gut lining can also be supported and healed, which can help you to lose weight in the end when you have great gut flora. So that's one of the reasons, or the reasons why, the science behind how MCT oil can benefit your weight loss. All right, so that's one. Then we're going to go into great source of energy. So the body absorbs MCTs more rapidly than long chain LCTs. Okay, so we want to understand that when the body absorbs that, it will basically allow the shorter chain doesn't require the bile from the liver to, or the gallbladder, excuse me, not the liver, but the liver breaks down the fat and then it goes to the gallbladder. But it doesn't require bile to break it down. So it comes as a ready source of energy for your body to use. And basically that's a beneficial thing. So you start burning fat for fuel instead of sugar in that way. So they become ketones and they can pass through the blood-brain barrier really fast, which makes them a great source of energy for your brain cells. And that's where the whole Alzheimer's, autism, and epilepsy part of things work in. So just know that MCT oil is great for an energy source. The other thing is that it can reduce, like I told you before, the buildup of lactic acid for athletes, and it could potentially increase fat burning and reduce the need for carbs during exercise. So it's not necessarily a definite, so to speak, in the sense that it's going to enhance your performance as an athlete, but it is definitely important. So just want to let you know that. And then finally, this is my favorite, and I hope you all understand the benefits. Like this, I know this is kind of nerdy, but I'm telling you right now that these are things that can really, really benefit your life. It's not the glossy stuff. It's not this. This is adding this in, and we're going to talk really quickly about how you do it. But the next one that I want to talk to you about is near and dear to my heart because of so many years of antibiotic use and the issues that I had with my gut flora was jacked up. So I had what we call Candida. A lot of people suffer with Candida or yeast in their gut. And MCT oil can actually reduce that and kill it. So I'm going to give you some statistics on it. So basically, MCT coconut oil reduces Candida, which is common yeast that causes thrush and various forms of skin infection. A study showed that MCT reduced the growth of a disease-causing bacteria called C. diff, which is what I suffered from when I had that antibiotic. So using that, it actually combats, or is almost like an antibiotic for that, and it also kills off yeast in the gut. And that can disturb your digestive process. It can disturb how your vagus nerve takes information to your brain from your stomach. So this can be life-changing for people. And it also decreases the growth of yeast from what we call capric, and lauric acid. So I think I'm saying those right. So caprilic, I think. All right, we'll work on the pronunciation. But there are those 3 acids that decrease the growth of yeast. And then MCTs themselves have been shown to suppress the growth of a widespread fungus that's found in hospitals. So I'm just going to let you know what I do is in the morning I drink lemon water and apple cider vinegar. And I do 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a half a lemon squeeze, and I put it in warm water, not boiling water because you don't want to destroy the enzymes. And then I put 1 tablespoon of this in with that lemon and vinegar. And it tastes amazing. And you don't even taste the oil. The oil doesn't have a taste, but many benefits as far as that's concerned. I also, like I said, use this with my salad dressings, and you can put it in your smoothies. So I wouldn't put the olive oil in my smoothie, but I would just put the pure MCT oil in my smoothie. You'll never taste it. It just actually becomes an emulsifier and helps it to, be thicker and more enjoyable, like a shake. So those are some of the ways in which, and you can also, like I said, you put it on your salad, you can put it in your smoothies, you can put it in your coffee, you can put it in your tea, all of those kinds of things. You don't want to use too much, so it's not something that you have to go overboard on. It's just enough. And then also understand that you don't want to cook with it, okay? So it's not an oil to cook with. You want to use it on salads. It's kind of like olive oil, where you don't want the smoke point of olive oil to go, you don't want it to get to the point of smoking and saute with it, because it can turn carcinogenic. So I hope these things have helped you. Hey, Tamar, it's so good to see you. I hope you're still on. And so I just wanted to let you know some of the benefits. I will come in next week with the other 3 benefits, and I will also look up the pronunciation of those words to make sure that I'm saying them right, because I'm all about making sure that you get the right knowledge on that, and I get the right knowledge. Okay? So peace and blessings to you. I hope that this has been helpful. I look forward to seeing you next week for Share the Joy Part 2 of MCT oil. All right? Blessings. Bye-bye.